Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about how to find the slope from a table, and in this case we are going to solve this problem. The table shows the temperature of a fish tank during an experiment. Write the appropriate linear equation to find the temperature to any time. In this case we have this function, or we have this table just with specific 5 hours and with the specific temperature, but we can identify or we can find a specific linear function to identify. For example, if you want to know what will be the temperature at 11 hours or 12 hours or any time. So the topic is writing a linear function from a table. You can say linear function or linear equation. And remember, before to start to write the linear function, you have to identify the slope. And we are going to use the formula y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, which is the change in y over the change in x, or it's a rise over run. Remember, it's important to identify which number is x1 and which number is x2. Here we have x1 and x2. x1 is 0, x2 is number 1. Or as you can say, it's the antecedent and the consequent. It's important to identify the y2 and the y1. Remember, y2 is the consequent and the y1 is the antecedent, or it's the change between the y-axis. So then you are going to substitute these values in the formula. For example, remember y2 it's 80 and y1 it's 82. x2 it's 1 and x1 it's 0. Then you have, when you subtract 80 minus 82, you're going to have negative 2, and 1 minus 0 is equals to 1. Then you can simplify negative 2 over 1 and would be negative 2. And we already have the slope. The second step is to use the formula for linear functions, which is this one, the second one. And you have to identify, you have to choose one of the coordinates. You can take the first one, the second one, third one, any coordinate of this one. In this case, I'm going to take the third one, 2 for x and 78 for y. Remember, it's important to take the specific coordinate. For example, if you take 1, you have to take 80 for y. Or if you take 4 for x, you're going to take 74 for y. In this case, I'm going to choose the third one. X equals 2, y equals to 78. Then we need to substitute these values in this function. How? Look, the value for y is 78, so we replace here. The value for m, we have in the step 1, which is negative 2. The value for x is equals to 2. So we replace here. And the value for b is the value that we need to find, or it's the y-intercept. So then we multiply negative 2 times 2, which is negative 4. Then we're going to use the inverse operation. 78 plus 4. This is negative, we move to positive. Then we're going to have 82 equals to b. And this is going to be the y-intercept. Now, with the slope and with the y-intercept, you can create your function, which is negative 2x plus 82. Remember, we replace the m here, which is negative 2, and b, which is 82. Then I have a question. What will be the temperature in 12 hours? Remember, with this function, we can identify the temperature at any time. So we are going to take the function, then we are going to substitute 12 hours. Remember, hours is represented by the x. So you are going to replace in x. Negative 2 times 12 plus 82. Negative 2 times 12 is negative 24, plus 82 is 58. So the temperature in 12 hours will be 58 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is about how to solve a linear function, or how to identify and find the linear function from a table and to use it to identify any value at any time. The second example, here we have Elizabeth's cell phones plans, let her choose how many minutes are included each month. The table shows the plan's monthly cost for a given number to include minutes, which is x. Write an equation in a slope-intercept form to represent this situation. Remember, first it's important to identify the y2 and the y1, x2 and x1. In this case, I'm going to use for y2 and y1, I'm going to use 20 and 14. 20, y2, y1, 14. 200 for x2, 100 for x1. Then I'm going to solve it, this one, and I'm going to have 6 over 100. Then, if you divide this one, you can leave as 6 over 100, or you can leave as decimal 0.06. Then we're gonna choose two coordinates. Remember, in this case I'm going to choose 200 for x and 20 for y. Then when we have the form for the linear functions, I'm going to use y equals to mx plus b. Then I'm going to substitute this value. Remember, we already have the slope, which is 0.06. You can use a fraction if you want. We have 200 and we have 20, the value for y. So we replace the y by 20, the x by 200, the m by 0.06, m plus b, which is the value that we need to identify. Then we have 0.06 times 200, it's going to be 12, and 20 here. Then we use inverse operation. This is positive, we move to negative. 20 minus 12, which is 8. The y-intercept would be 8 equals to b. Now we can create our function, y equal mx plus b. Remember, the m we already have here in the step 1, the b we have in the step 2, and we're going to have like this. In this case, I use for m this fraction, but you can use 0.06 if you want. Now I have a question. What will be the cost if the plan includes 800 minutes? So we're gonna use this function. Then we have 0.06 times 800. Remember, 800 is the value for x. It's the minute. So we're gonna have 48 plus 8.